Today we are going to go over lesson 9. The objectives for this lesson is so you will be able to calculate the value of inventory using 3 methods, and you'll also be able to calculate the cost of goods using those 3 methods. We're going to start off with some key terms. First, we have inventory, which is the items that a business has on hand. Inventory receipts are quantity of items or units received. Stock reorder point is the minimum inventory a business must have to meet its customers' demand. Issues are items that are flowing out, basically items that are sold. Average cost method is valuing inventory using the average cost of goods on hand. First in, first out is one of the 3 methods. It is the oldest inventory is sold first. We'll go over more details in a bit. Last term is last in, first out, or LIFO, and that is the most recently acquired inventory is sold first. So here's an example. We're going to start off with a very basic one. We have the inventory record for Stephanie's beauty store shows the status of lipstick. What was the opening balance at the beginning of April? So notice the opening balance for 1 month is simply the number on hand of previous month. For example, the number on hand for January is 240. That means when you start February, you start off with 240 items as well. So it's basically the number on hand is at the end of the day or the end of the month. You count how many lipsticks you have. So when you open the store the next day, which is the beginning of the next month, you should have that same amount. That's all it really means. So same thing, we're trying to find the opening balance for April. So opening balance for April is going to be the number on hand for March, which is 210. And that is the final answer for that one. Next one, this time we're looking for the number on hand at the end of the month, not the opening balance. To find the number on hand, or what we call inventory, we get the previous inventory plus the number of receipts minus the issues. So we know that the beginning of April we have 210 lipsticks. So the units receipt, or the quantity in, is how many the store received, which is 10. Issues is quantity out, or how many did the store sell. So that means we need to subtract that from our inventory. So we have 210 plus 10 minus 120, giving us the number on hand at the end of April to be 100. Alright, now I want you to try one out on your own really quick. Notice the numbers are different. So pause the video and then resume when you are ready. Alright, we have the number on hand for April to be 600, and we received 50 more, and then we sold 120. So that means at the end of April we end up with 530 lipsticks. Alright, so that right there was the easy. Now we go into the 3 methods I had mentioned earlier. The first one is the average cost valuation. The average cost method of valuing inventory is based on the average cost of the goods you received. So to find the inventory value, all we have to do is get the average cost per unit and multiply it by how many items we have on hand. And to find the average, you should know this from Algebra 1 or even pre-algebra. To find the average of a set of number, we simply add up all the numbers, or in this case, the total cost. We add that all up and then we divide it by how many numbers there are, or in this case, how many items we received. Alright, here goes an example. Sam's Beauty Store has an inventory of lipstick. On May 31st, which is the last day of the month, Sam's Beauty had 57 lipsticks in stock. What is the value of the ending inventory for May using the average cost valuation method? And we want to round up to the nearest dollar. First thing we need to do is find the total cost of units. I already did some math for you. Sometimes they won't give you this column right here and you have to find it yourself. So really quick, to find, let's say, the first row, all you have to do is multiply the unit received by the unit cost in order to get the total cost. So I did that for you already. All you have to do is add them all up together now, and we get $3,022.80. Next step is to find the total number of units received. So we received in total of 349 items, or 349 lipsticks. So the third step is find the average cost per unit. Remember the formula. It is the total cost of units divided by the units received, which is really $3,022.80 divided by 349. When we do that, we get $8.66. So on average, one lipstick cost $8.66. So the last step is find the inventory value. We know at the end of the month, we only have 57 lipsticks left. So we're going to use that number and we multiply it by the average cost per unit. So that means we have $493.62 worth of lipstick in our store at the end of the month. However, because the question does want you to round up to the nearest whole dollar, it is going to be $494. Alright, I want you to try one out on your own really quick. Same numbers and everything. This time, Sam's Beauty had 103 lipsticks in stock. So keep that in mind. Pause the video and then resume when you are ready. Alright. Remember, first step, find unit or the total cost of the units. And because they are the same number, I'm going to go over it really quick. Same answer as before, $3,022.80. Second step, find the total units received. And if you remember, we actually got 349. That's just adding the four numbers together. Step 3 is find the average cost per unit. That's going to be $3,022.80 divided by 349. And as we got on the last slide, $8.66. This time, however, instead of multiplying by 50 something earlier, this time we are multiplying by 103. So our ending inventory is going to have a value of $891.98. but because we have to round up, it is going to be $892. Alright, so that was the first method. The second method is called first in, first out, or FIFO. And that method assumes that the oldest merchandise is sold first. So therefore, the most recent merchandise still remains in inventory. So here's an example. Eleanor's Beauty uses the FIFO method to find the cost of goods sold and the value of ending inventory. So the table records the number of units received in the month of May. So on May 31st, the store sold 207 mascaras. We want to know the cost of goods sold. So basically, what was the value of all the mascaras we sold? All 207 of them. So because we're using the FIFO method, is first in, first out, and we're looking for the cost of goods sold, you want to start from the oldest to the newest. So from top to bottom in this table. So I wrote down the table again. This time, however, I skipped this part. It is currently blank. Eventually, we're going to have something in there, but we're going to fill that in based on our information. So remember, total units sold here has to equal 207. So keep that in mind. So let's start. We received 59 mascaras on May 4th. So because we're using the FIFO method, that means out of the 59 we received, all 59 were sold. Alright, so let's find the total cost. So all you have to do is multiply those two numbers together. We get the total cost to be $481.44. Next, we need to figure out if we already sold 59 out of the 207, how many more are we supposed to have sold? So we subtract. 207 minus 59 gives us 148. So now we look at the second one, May 11th. So we received 135, which is less than 148. So that means all 135 that we received, we did sell. So that's why there's 155 right here. We're going to multiply that by $9.04, giving us the cost of $1,220.40. So now we are left with 13 units left, right? So out of the 61 from May 18th, we only sold 13 of them. So if you were to add these three numbers together, you should get 207. So now we multiply 13 times $8.68. That gives us $112.84. The question is asking for the cost of goods sold. So let's add all three up together, and we get a total of $1,814.68. That means that was the total of the 207 mascara Eleanor's Beauty store sold. Alright, let's try another example. Justin's Wireless uses the FIFO method to find the cost of goods sold and the value of the ending inventory. The table records the number of units received for the month of June. So on June 30th, they sold 194 keyboards. So we want to find the cost of goods sold. So again, because we're using the FIFO method and we're looking for the cost of goods sold, we're going to start from the top down. Out of the 68 received on June 3rd, all 68 have to have been sold, which means $3,307.52 total. So we are now left with 126 keyboards. So that means from the 118 in June 10th, all 118 were sold, giving us a total cost of $5,791.44. Now we are left with only 8 keyboards. So that 8 comes from the last date, which is June 17th. So 8 times $48.82 give us $390.56. What we need to do now is we need to add them together. So the cost of goods sold is $9,489.52 from the 194 keyboards we sold. Alright, next one. This time we're looking for the value of remaining inventory. So that means, remember, first in, first out. So the value of the remaining inventory has to come from towards the end of the month, right? Because earlier, if we sold all the ones on top, because we started from top bottom, the ones we have left should come from the bottom up. Alright, keep that in mind. First step is find the total inventory, which is 255. So that means we have 255 received in the month of May. We want to find the remaining inventory. If we sold 207 mascaras, that means we should have 48 mascaras remaining. So the 48 should come from May 18th. And the unit cost for May 18th is $8.68. So we multiply that by 48, giving us the value of the remaining inventory to be $416.64. So what that means is, from the 48, we have $416.64 worth of merchandise for mascaras at least. Alright, let's try another one. So this time we're talking about brushes, but we're looking for the value of remaining inventory again. So same thing as we did before. First step is to find the total inventory, which is going to be a total of 247 brushes. Second step, finding the remaining. If we sold 186, that means we have 61 total left. The 61 all comes from May 19th, which has a unit cost of $4.94. So we're going to use that to multiply by 61, giving us the remaining inventory of $301.34. Alright, third method and the last method is called last in, first out. So the LIFO method assumes that the most recently purchased merchandise, called last in, is sold first. Therefore, the oldest units are still on hand at the end of the period. So I should have done this earlier, but I'm going to do it now really quick, just to give you a visual of it. Like if you were a person who stocks products, let's say for Fry's, and you're stocking milk cartons. LIFO, last in, first out, means when you are stocking, you're stocking from the front. You're standing where the customers buy items and you're putting in the new product. If you use FIFO, that means you're going in the back and you're stocking from there. So keep that in mind. That's how you determine, or that's how you understand if Fry's use first in, first out or last in, first out. Alright, so here's an example. Justin's Wireless uses the LIFO method to find the cost of goods sold and the value of the ending inventory. The table records the number of units received in the month of June. On June 30th, they sold 232 wireless keyboards. We want to know the cost of goods sold. So remember earlier, for the FIFO method, we did top going down. Because we're doing LIFO this time, we start from the bottom because it's the last in, first out. Alright, so we do bottom to top, cost of goods sold. So do the same thing we did earlier. Remember, the sum right here, all three has to add up to 232. Keep that in mind. So on June 17th, we received 95. That means all 95 had to have been sold. To find the total cost of the 95, multiplied together, we get $4,637.90. So let's figure out how many we have left. So 232 minus 95 will give you 137. So now we look at June 10th. We have 118 from June 10th. That means all 118 were sold, giving us $5,791.44. So let's see how many keyboards we have left. So we should have 19 left from 137 minus 118, right? So the 19 all comes from June 3rd. So we multiply 19 times $48.64, giving us $924.16. So the cost of goods sold for the month of June will be $11,353.50. Alright, now we're going to do the value of the remaining inventory. Because we are going from bottom up, the items that are left should come from the beginning of the month. So keep that in mind. If we're doing last in, first out, the remaining inventory should come from the beginning of the month. So same thing as what we did earlier with the FIFO. First step, find the total inventory. Add everything together, we get 247 brushes in total. Second step, find the remaining inventory. If we sold 216, we have 31 left. So at the end of the month, we still have 31 left that we have not sold. And remember, because it is the LIFO method, or last in, first out, it comes from the beginning of the month, which has a unit cost of $4.67. So that is what you are going to multiply 31 by. So the final answer is going to be $144.77. Alright, here's another example. Same thing, we're looking at LIFO, last in, first out. So we're doing bottom to top, and we're looking for the remaining inventory, the value of the remaining inventory. So that means we're looking at the first date. Alright, first step, find total inventory. That is going to be 255 mascaras this time. We sold 207 of those, which means we still have 48 left. So 48 should come from the first date, which is May 4th, and that has a unit cost of $8.16. So multiply $8.16 by 48, and we get $391.68. Alright, that is all that we have for today. If you have any questions in this lesson, I know it is pretty overwhelming, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you go over this.